Welcome to Cricbuzz Chatter in association with Cricbuzz 11, the fantasy gaming app from the house of Cricbuzz. It's day 4 here at Manchester. It's a day, it doesn't matter who it belongs to because after this, if India need to stay in the game, it has to belong to India. But it actually started with England having quite a commanding display of batting. Welcome, Michael. What do you think of Mr. Ben Stokes going about it?
Yeah, well, I must apologise. I said the game would be over on day 4. We're going to day 5 because of the great fight that India have shown. So well done to them. But Ben Stokes was tremendous in the morning. His batting has got better and better throughout the series. He didn't play much cricket leading into this series, and you can see that it's quite obvious. The more you spend time in the middle, the more you get your kind of flow back, which is what Ben has managed to do. But he played beautifully. He's now up there with the likes of Ian Botham in terms of the talk of this all-round status, a 5 for 100 in the same match. Both of them got five times that he got five for.
That's quite an effort, isn't it?
5 times Ian Botham has done what Ben Stokes has achieved. So remarkable from Ben Stokes.
If you look at the list of captains, if you put it up, you'll understand that there's some seriously elite names there. Gary Sobers, Mushtaq Mohammed, a lot of serious Imran Khan, and it's not easy to be in this list, being a bowler, batter, but most importantly, as a leader as well. It almost feels inevitable when he's not at the ground that things seem to quieten down. It looks a very different kind of team when he's not on the ground, isn't it?
Well, he was on the ground in the afternoon, but this is my big concern for England. I have my fingers like this all the time because we saw today that Ben Stokes not bowling, and his batting was great this morning, but it's his bowling that's really been the revelation throughout the summer, and obviously it was badly missed today in the afternoon with the ball in hand. But his batting, he's got such a nice balance against seam, and he's played the spinners here a lot better than he's played them throughout the series. And then when he gets to that period where he can hit the ball and all the fielders are spread, he's the best at trying to hit the boundaries. You know how difficult it is when the fielders spread, is still finding the boundaries, but he still manages to choose the right ball to hit. And when the ball's not quite there, he's so calming, going, all right, it's not quite there, just get the ones or I'll get the twos. He's a wonderful striker of a cricket ball, and it doesn't surprise me because he works so hard at his bat. It looks to me like he's worked on a few technical things, particularly against the spinners. He's pressing forward a lot more, particularly this week. He kind of went forward and pushed forward a lot more. He's been kind of pressing back up until this game. So brilliant from Ben Stokes. He put England in an incredible position, but this series you just can't predict.
I know.
Every time you
can't predict as well.
Well, it's the first time I've got it wrong.
What I mean by that, someone with so much knowledge and insight in Manchester, still you can't predict exactly how it's going to go.
Well, Manchester surprised you as the weather has this week.
It's been sunny.
Someone's got cramp playing cricket in Manchester, Ben. It's the first time ever it's happened that a player has got cramp because of the heat in Manchester. So full credit to the teams. Every time a team this series has been on the canvas and you think they've been knocked over, they bounce back up. And that's exactly what India have done today. I thought at lunchtime, down and out, I thought you'd be packing your bags, you'll be on your train back to London, you'll be whining and dining tomorrow afternoon down, Bond Street or St. John's Wood. You'll be buying nice shop clothes in the shops like one of your blazers. Well, we're here on day 5 once again because these teams, both of them, they don't know when it's over. They just keep fighting, which is great.
No, I mean, that was actually Ben Stokes' first 100 after 2023. The last time he got it was at Lord's against Australia. And after that, he's got it now. But what he did really was not only bat with authority, but he had an air of nonchalance as well about how he went about his innings. And then all they had to do was play 3 overs. And they lost 2 wickets then.
Yeah, they could have lost 4. They were quite lucky to go in 2 for. Chris Woakes is that kind of bowler. When he gets it right in the first over, and you've been out there for 158 overs fielding, opening batters are a little bit jaded and tired. And a young player like Yashasvi Jaiswal, he gets a good ball. He probably just played across the line, but it was a good ball. It kind of bounced.
But you almost feel like when it comes to you inside from around the wicket, you end up flicking it, and it's quite a good ball.
Yeah, I think it's a good ball. And then side, first ball, one bounces, he tries to leave it. And obviously England are off to a flying start. And I don't think there was one person in this venue that would have predicted what happened next, because the ball was nibbling around, and Shubman Gill and KL Rahul, whose technique has been incredible throughout.
You keep saying this actually about his technique, but that partnership was brilliant. At the start, it was Gill who was the enforcer, but later on, KL just joined in on the act and played some lovely shots. But KL Rahul's technique, I just want you to elaborate about what you actually enjoy watching his technique.
Well, I just think he's got such a balance to be able to press forward to that full of length, and he's not just pushing his hands at the ball. Even when he drives the ball, you can see the ball's right under his nose. And when he plays those perfect cover drives, it's from in here. He doesn't drive with his kind of bat outside where he's not controlling the ball. There was one drive actually, Shubman Gill drove one quite
Yeah,
wide,
the
and
catch.
there was a
Oh
good
yeah,
catch which
Liam
should have been
Dawson.
taken. And that really was the only time that I looked down and thought, what's the first technical fault that this partnership had produced, and England didn't quite take the chance. But KL has got just a lovely balance of kind of just pressing forward and defending, and then he pushes back and gets on the back foot. That little punch through cover point that he plays, well, that little glide that he started to play down to third, his head is in the perfect position. It's never ever falling over. It's always upright over off stump, and it can go back towards the ball. It can go back onto his stumps. He's got lovely balance to whip on the onside. I mean, there's some great technical players, but KL Rahul, I think he gave today, and he has throughout the whole of the series. It's almost like a masterclass in the technical side of
Yeah.
how you play Test cricket.
And a lot of young boys and girls watching it, what Michael said is absolutely perfect from a coaching point of view as well. Almost watching the ball onto the bat, playing under your eyes,
Mm.
also playing it late, and the late cuts that KL Rahul played, knowing what the field was, the back foot punches, all of these tells you you're in a good batting rhythm, and that's what both of them did. He's already got 500 runs in this series. Shubman Gill is closer to 700. Both of them the top two run getters for the series. We'll come back to that.
Do you know this pair at the crease?
Yeah.
They faced over 2,000 balls in the series. For 2,000.
I don't know if there are...
My colleague on the BBC, Phil Tufnell, didn't face 2,000 balls in his whole career.
But, walking into the series, the one name that was discussed quite a bit was Shubman Gill. He's a young captain. How is he going to react? Will his batting actually find it hard to cope with the pressures of being a captain as well? He's put that to bed, isn't it? With the way he's batted.
Oh, I think he's a wonderful player.
Oh.
When he arrived here with an average of 35, it's always been wrong. Those numbers aren't right. And then obviously in this series it's gone to beyond 40. I would say now that I would expect him to have a test match career average when he finishes near 49, 50. He's such a good player. He makes it look so easy. And that bat looks wide again. He looks really wide. He kind of the full face and thought, oh yeah, he's got his rhythm. I think he realised that we're going to try and challenge his stumps.
Yes.
Try and challenge his LBW. So he stayed a bit more upright, and he got his back going down the line of the ball a lot better, and probably like he did in the first two test matches. And he left the ball nicely outside off stump. And then he just started to flourish. He played a lovely cut shot over the top of Raj, which nearly went for six. And to do that on the back of fielding for 158 overs, and in the back of his mind, I don't care. He's a human being. The Indian selection this week, they got it wrong. Sometimes as a captain, you can sleep on that every night, going, oh, no, I've got it wrong. I've got the wrong team out there. What he's been able to do, and actually, DK, and you know that as a player, as a captain, if you're sat in the dressing room, you sometimes, even when you wait in the back, you've got people asking you questions, or the coach coming, oh, what do you think to this? And you start talking about maybe the selection, or what we're going to do next week, or what's going to happen in the future tours. Just these things happen as a captain.
Absolutely.
The most peaceful place is actually out in the middle. And I wonder, Shubman Gill getting out there inside the first over, it was almost like I'm at the dressing room. I'm at peace. I can just watch the ball and react and just play on instinct. And
has that happened to you, Michael?
Oh, lots.
Yeah.
Oh, lots. I used to find. I mean, at the start of my captaincy reign, I found it quite difficult to compartmentalize from being the captain to being the batter, and then suddenly I'm out in the middle. And sometimes I had too many thoughts when I was out in the middle batting. And over time, I got better and better. And eventually, the most peaceful part of batting and part of the job was actually in the middle, because you just had a partner that you could have a chat to. Your partner's not asking you captaincy questions, he's just talking about the game, the pitch, how we're going to score some runs. And to do that, it's very difficult. So Shubman today, that mental strength, that character. I love character. I like people that just show a little bit of ticker, and that's exactly what he did today.
It was just outstanding to watch. I think he's also enjoying the fact that he's a captain, because he's able to control the narrative in a lot of ways. Did he get his captaincy right? I don't think so. There are areas that he'll definitely look back and say, no, I could have done this better. Starting from the 11 that he chose to the kind of bowling changes he made. And towards the end, when Ben Stokes and Bryden Cast was batting, you almost got the feeling that giving Ben Stokes a single is okay, but also Bryden Cast, meaning, what are you trying to do there? But it was his batting that has impressed me the most, that understanding that it is not about taking that baggage into the ground while you bat. He's a batsman, he needs to score runs, and he's just closing in on 700 runs. And here's another stat: most runs by Asian batters in a test series in England. And we're talking about some of the greats that have been there: Gavaskar, Kohli, Dravid, Mohammad Yusuf, and today Shubman Gill is comfortably gone past them. And he's had a terrific series with the bat. And the batsman who he's batted the most with is KL Rahul, because he has had a consistent series in a completely different sort of way, because he probably has played tougher spells than Gill, because he's had to deal with the new ball when he's gone in at situations when he just needed to play a few overs before he went to a break, all sorts of things. But he's shown commendable technique. He's also showed a lot of application. There's also this small little murmurs going around that KL Rahul starts the series well but doesn't seem to end it well. Why does that happen? But I think in this series he's put that to bed as well. Again, scoring 500 runs, consistent in the way he's gone about it. And almost every time he's at the crease, you were assured of someone who exactly knew what his game plan was, didn't move away, didn't play too many loose shots. And we're talking about a period of almost a month and a half that he's done it consistently every time he's gone on to bat. It's just been exciting to watch him bat, purely from a standpoint of how consistent he is mentally walking into any inning he's played in England so far. And if you all want to play exciting contests, download the Cricbuzz 11 app and pay 1 rupee, and you can play all the exciting contests available on that app. And the next thing I want to speak about, like how Gill and KL Rahul have at times made it look like there's no other batsman in this Indian team. The England batting never seems to end. They just seem to keep coming one after another. Dawson at 8, Vokes at 9, and then it was Cars, and then obviously Jofra at the end just came in. But it just kept going, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, most teams you want batting depth, but it's not at the expense of bowling quality. And that's where I think India got their selection wrong this week. I think they should have gone with Prasid Krishna or Kuldeep Yadav, and maybe Kambodge can just bat a little bit, and that's why they went for him at number 9. England have bowling quality and batting depth. When you think Jofra Archer can bat a bit is number 11, Brydon Carsu, terrific bowler, really good batter coming in at number 10, Chris Wokes, who struggled this series with a batting hand, but his record is really good, particularly here in the UK. He's got obviously a Test match century. Liam Dawson, 18 first class centuries, coming in at number 8. This inside, I remember the South African side of the early 2000s when Klusener and Pollock used to bat at 8 and 9. And they'd come in and just dismantle attacks when they were tired. If you can get to that stage in a Test match team that you've got real quality bowling who can bat, you can start to really challenge most of the good teams around the world, particularly away from home. And I know you don't like me talking about it, but the Ashes is so important.
And do you think Brydon Cars is a good fit as a batter as well? Do you think he's
Yeah,
enough?
I do. I just look at England away from home, and whether it's in India or Australia, a lot of the times with 6 or 7 down and all out, lose the last 4 wickets very, very quickly. A Stark spell or Axar Patel just flies through. If you've got players that can offer you another 100 runs from around 6 down, that's the difference between winning and losing a Test match. So it's perfect for England. I think all these modern players, rightfully so. I guess when I started in the 80s, 90s, bowlers just bowled and didn't really get a chance to practice. If you're a modern player, you've got to be three-dimensional. You've got to be able to hold a bat. You've got to be able to field. And obviously, if you're a bowler, you've got to be a high-class bowler as well.
And speaking about the bowling, it was a day where they started with 2 wickets, but after that, they tried quite a bit the short ball ploy, going around the wicket, did everything possible, but wickets really didn't fall. It really looked like a placid wicket. Most of the bowlers tried today. All of them were economical, but the fact is that they were not able to get wickets, barring Wokes. And did you think that, looking at that England team, they did everything possible on that field tonight?
Yeah, they try. I mean, they're just missing Ben Stokes. If Ben Stokes had have been bowling today, I'm sure that they got 1 or 2 more. And then the left-handers come out, and Liam Dawson will have more to aim into. Jofra Archer's record against left-hand is a lot better than he is against right-hand. I mean, if you look at the series as a whole, after the 40th over, the numbers don't lie. So after the 40th over, Ben Stokes, I think he's got 5 wickets at an average of 34. Chris Wokes has got 1 wicket in that period at an average of over 90. Brydon Carson, Jofra Archer, when the ball's over 40 overs old, they haven't got a wicket. And they've bowled about, I think there's about 58 overs between them. And neither of them have got a wicket after that 40th over. So that tells you how important Ben Stokes is to this attack. I think they'll find a little bit of energy on day 5. When you've got so long to bowl a team out, sometimes you can just go through the motions. On day 5, you've got no other option just to go for it and just find that little bit of energy and that little bit more pace in the tank. And I just think 1 wicket and it can open up. But you look at the weather on day 5, there might be a bit of rain. So if, say, 20 odd overs gets taken out of the day, we have to bowl 90. Then you're looking at 70 overs for India to bat, 17 with the old, 53 with the second new ball. India will have a chance. If they lose a few overs on day 5, I think India have a chance of getting on that bus, train, plane. I don't know how they get down to London, but if they can get down to London and it's still 2-1, this will be one of the great escapes.
You heard it first on Cricbuzz. Michael Vaughan believes if there's a bit of rain, which is always expected in Manchester, it could be one of the
Stop it.
greatest games. And on that vein, let's put Michael
Sunshine
in
in
the
the
hot
UK.
spot. India have actually shown a lot of resilience. They lost two quick wickets. They came back with a fantastic partnership of 174 so far. And there's one man, and you know who I'm going to speak about. He hasn't come to bat. We don't know if he'll come to bat. And then there is the rest of the batting order put together. How do you see this innings panning out? What does it take for India actually to somehow stay in the game till the end?
Oh, I think this partnership needs to grow further on day five. 17 overs to that second new ball. How often do we get to day five and you kind of had such a great day for, and suddenly two wickets falling. It could be over quite quickly. So if England get two wickets before that second new ball, four down, I would think that the game might end mid-afternoon. If this partnership takes India up to that second new ball, so 17 overs of bat, which is about an hour and 20 minutes of batting, the rain is due around that time.
Now that you speak about the rain, do you think England actually batted a little longer than they should have?
Well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see on day five. At the minute, I don't think so. But you wouldn't want to have batted on so long and then suddenly the rain comes. Look, there's a forecast that suggests we might get 2 or 3 hours. There's a forecast that suggests nothing. Usually in Manchester, when they say it's going to rain, it rains. So I do it on the side of rain coming. But I just think Shubman Gill and KL Rahul, clearly the first hour with the old ball, if England can get rid of one of them and then a left-hander comes out there, Jofra will fire up, and I think Liam Dawson will have a bit of success to the left-handers. So this partnership clearly has to grow that little bit further. We know as players that the next morning, doesn't matter how many you arrive on, you have to start again. And even though the ball's old and clouds might be around, we might just get a little bit of swing. The morning seems to be the kind of time when there's a little bit more action in terms of uneven. We've seen that pretty much consistently throughout the Test match. England, though, they're 1 wicket away from really cracking open the game. But if India can find that flow that they had in that last hour or so, they can make it very, very difficult for England.
England actually did start quite well. Everybody expected them to probably declare after the first hour because Ben Stokes was closing in on 100. They ended up almost batting up to 669. In fact, you got the feeling when Stokes got out, he almost said, "Let's go, Carsey," but it wasn't that. He ended up batting a few more overs, and just 20 minutes to lunch, they gave India an opportunity to bat again. Will it come back to haunt them? Well, we don't know because at this point of time, it feels like it's going to be a good day with a little bit of rain in the first session. Now, the one thing that is definitely assured is the BBC, the weather station, is in Manchester. If they say something is going to happen, it does happen.
What's
And
it
on
said? What's it said?
first session, there's going to be rain till 2 o'clock. So don't know. Now, I believe in the weather app that I saw, it is rain till 12:30. Now, I don't know who to believe. If as an Indian, I'd like the 2 o'clock benchmark, but we never know.
Don't underestimate. India are only 137 runs away,
Correct.
making England bat again. So it could come down to bad light. Remember, they've
Yeah.
taken a reading.
The
The
first
reading's
time.
already there. So once they get to that reading again, they'll have to come off. So we're in for a classic last day. England might have to chase 70 in like 8 overs. It could be one of those
They'll try and
catch-outs.
score it in 3 overs as well.
No,
They're not going to let go of
you
that.
might need 8 if you're chasing 70, maybe 4 or 5.
But the fact is that right now, as we speak, the sun is just beating on my face straight in, and it is time now to put Michael not in the hot spot, but ask him fast forward what's going to happen for the future. Michael, almost with bated breath, I want to ask you, what is your crystal ball telling you for tomorrow? Tell me there's a lot of rain, a little bit of Indian batting, and they get ahead. Again, rain. Is that what you see?
My crystal ball's not been working this week. The weather's been confusing me in Manchester. I still think England are going to win the game.
Okay.
I think England will have enough. I've seen enough Test cricket to suggest that if England get one, they'll make it very, very difficult for the Indian batters. I think India will put up a fight. I think it'll be a fight.
So far they have.
Yeah, I think they'll fight. I think rain will come at some stage, which will get the equation of will they or won't they get back out there? And I think they will because the sun looks like it might be shining in the afternoon. I don't think it's going to be one of those days where England arrive and blow India away and it's done and dusted quickly. I think there's enough talent and enough fight in the Indian batting lineup, and we will see Rishabh Pant. We'll see Rishabh Pant. He'll be hobbling down those stairs, and he'll get an incredible reception. He will get a huge reception, and it might be that India get a bit closer, and Rishabh has to hit a few to try and get India ahead of England, because obviously the more that they get ahead, the more difficult it is for England to win the game. But we'll be in for a classic, but I think England will just have enough, and I think we'll see Ben Stokes bowling.
Okay. So he said a few things here. Let's start with one. He said England is going to win. We're going to see Pant bat, and we will see Stokes bowling.
Who's going to win?
I also feel if there's going to be a full day's play, England will have a better chance of winning. Purely because, every morning there's been a lot to work with as bowlers. And that's why I feel England have a very good chance against India. I don't know if Pant will come if it's very early. If it's the back end, probably around after Shardul Thakur or just before him to save a game, that's completely different. But you have to bat a whole day out with a broken toe. I don't think that's going to be easy. But having said that, India is walking in second time in two tests to day five with the hope that they can save this test match. The previous one, they had a chance to win, but this one is definitely not a win. It's about a draw, which is as good as a win because they will go into the Oval with the feeling that they can definitely have an exciting test match
Just
there.
something, DK. I think India, when they chase a target, I sometimes worry about them
Mhm.
because they get a little bit edgy, as we
Okay.
saw at Lords. When they're told just bat for a draw, I think they've got more of a kind of mentality to do that than chasing. So it actually could suit the style of play that India go for in terms of just batting for a draw. And that's why I think we're in for a classic because I just don't see how England will just blow them away because they all ball obviously in the first hour or so. So I think India should have enough to at least survive to the second new ball. And then the second new ball for 10 overs, that is going to be the key. If India lose 2 or 3 in the first 10 overs, game's done and dusted. If they can somehow survive that second new ball for 10 or 15 overs, they have a sniff.
They have a sniff, and it's going to be one hell of an exciting day. And if you guys want to play some exciting contest, all you need to do, download the Cricbuzz 11 app and pay 1 rupees, and you can play all the exciting games that you want. And this is it from us, Michael and I. At the end of Cricbuzz Chatter, day 4, as always, India in adversity, still keep fighting, staying in the game. It could have easily been different. I could have been on my way to London, but that's not the case.
I
We are
need some
here for
sun
another
cream.
day.
I need some sun cream in that. I'm getting burned.
That's actually become a norm right now. It's actually something that you're not used to. You need a cold ice bath, I feel. That also.
I'm actually going for one now.
Are you tired?
Yeah, I'm going for a sauna and an ice bath. Yeah,
Michael is
just to
tired.
refresh for. I'm not used to these day 5 games. I've got 4 of them.
On that note, thank you for watching Cricbuzz Chatter in association with Cricbuzz 11. Take care. See you tomorrow.